Why do you think the Greens didn't rock up today?
Because they're weak bullies. They're absolute cowards. And the biggest coward of the lot is Adam Bandt.
I think there are two possibilities. A, that they heard that a group of Jewish people were coming to protest, or secondly, there was the heat. I would think it would be the former rather than the latter.
So it's either the Jews or climate change.
Well, exactly, that's right.
It was too hot, so the conviction's kind of a bit low.
Climate change ended up killing the Greens. So you know what? I'm starting to support this climate change. If it takes out the Greens, I'm in. Avi Mini for Rebel News in Paran, Melbourne, where the Greens Party has organised a campaign barbecue for local Greens members to inspire people to vote in the upcoming election for the Greens Party. And a small group of Jews have decided to organise a quiet, silent counter-protest to stand up against the hateful party. Let's see what happens. Why'd you organise today?
How could we not? I mean, we've been hidden in the ghetto of Caulfield, we've been pushed aside everywhere, and we heard that this was happening in the park today, and we wanted to come here and stand as Jews, proud, loud, and have them see us and see that we're not frightened.
So it seems like the big brave Greens didn't show up for their barbecue today. Now, there's only two reasons that's possible. Either they're scared of a few little Jews coming to crash their party, or climate change. I'm happy with both. Do you count this as a success, the fact that the Greens cancelled their barbecue?
It shows they don't have the courage of their own convictions. For people who've encouraged school children to wag school and go to protests over the last 17 months and to go against the direct encouragement of the Department of Education that they should wag school, go to protests, do this every Sunday for the last 17 months, another 3 snap rallies a week, and 100 Jews, they couldn't face us? What gutless wonders?
Why are you here?
I'm actually against not just the antisemitism of the Greens, but the racism of the Greens.
The Australian anthem says we're proud Australians and we're free. We want to be free of terrorism, antisemitism, and we want to take our country back. We're a lucky country, and we don't feel very lucky at the moment.
The Greens have got the same colour as Hamas. Greens are Hamas, Hamas is a Green Party.
Do you think that's going to be easy for them when they need to change flags, that they'll just shift over to the Hamas flag because it's already the same colours and no one will notice?
Quite possibly.
The Greens incite hatred and division, and my parents as Holocaust survivors, I can see the parallels between what the Greens are saying and doing to what the Nazi Party has done.
Like my husband agree, he's a modern day Hitler. He just stands for hatred and he's very divisive in our community. He won't even stand in front of the Australian flag, which I think is appalling. He should not be an MP if he will not stand in front of the Australian flag. What does that say about him? And if he thinks we're all colonialists, he should get out of this country.
Adam Bandt has not said anything about the murder by manual strangulation and dismemberment of the Bibis children who were just released. He has made no statements about that, and I challenge him to openly condemn Hamas for that barbarity. And if he doesn't, it will prove that the Greens are aligned with the Hamas ideology.
This danger from this party isn't just for the Jews in Australia or Israel. It is about a whole danger to the Judeo-Christian values of this country that we were built on. The whole of Australia needs to come together to help us fight this group of evil politicians.
Yeah, I know. I'm a proud Aussie, and if you are too, unlike the Greens, you can show the world by going to rebelstore.com.au and getting yourself one of these t-shirts or one of the other amazing new merch we have on the site. That way you can stand for something, look good doing so, and support your favourite news network. Rebelstore.com.au, get yourself a proud Aussie t-shirt that will trigger the Greens just if you wear it. Why do you think the Greens didn't rock up today?
Because they're weak bullies, and they'll stand in Parliament and abuse the State of Israel and Jews and Australians, and they will disrupt Australian society. But when presented with the opportunity of coming face to face with 50 middle-aged Australians, they run away. They're absolute cowards, and the biggest coward of the lot is Adam Bandt.
Why do you think he didn't show up?
is it doesn't look good if we're here for him. You know, what's he going to do? He knows that he can't control his people. They're probably likely to say something or do something, and they don't want the negative publicity.
I guess they don't want sensible questions from people like you, where they have to defend themselves, defend the indefensible.
Whether they're scared, it was a hot day, I don't know, but we're here, very proudly here.
It was too hot, so the conviction's kind of a bit low.
Climate change ended up killing the Greens. So you know what? I'm starting to support this climate change. If it takes out the Greens, I'm in.
I think there are two possibilities. A, that they heard that a group of Jewish people were coming to protest, or secondly, there was the heat. I would think it would be the former rather than the latter.
So it's either the Jews or climate change.
Well, exactly, that's right.
It's a shame he's not here. I had a bunch of good questions for old Adam Ban. One of the questions I was going to have for him is, who has more of a legitimate claim? Him as a white English-German to Australia, or let's say me, a Middle Eastern Jew to the Jewish ancestral land of Israel? In that kind of debate, who would win that? That's applying his logic. That's applying their ideology.
Well,
as a brown Jew, I think I have much more of a claim to Israel than he does to Australia.
Absolutely, going back thousands of years.
Why do you think they lost the by-election here recently?
I think people are waking up and saying, this is un-Australian. We want Australia back. This is totally un-Australian. We're multicultural, we're proud of it, and that's how we want to remain.
I saw him at the polling booth on the Paran by-election, and not only is he a coward, but he tells lies. He went on the ABC and said that they won the election because Labor preferenced the Liberals, when he knew full well that Labor were not running in that election.
Do you think the broader community might be waking up now, the fact that the Greens did lose this seat, they lost their seat in Brisbane?
So that might be all they understand, is losing a seat. They don't seem to listen to what they sprout, the rubbish.
We should be taking strong action to be showing them that they're anti-Semitic, not just anti-Zionist, but anti-Semitic, and every measure should be taken to expose them, especially since we're going to elections where they may get some traction.
I think we also have to educate our young people that the Greens aren't any longer a tree-hugging party. They're not environmentalists, they're a destructionist party.
What are you saying? You're saying Hamas is not an environmentalist group?
Hamas, it's ridiculous.
If you enjoyed this clip as much as I enjoyed watching a small group of Jews scare the Greens out of doing their event, make sure to like, comment, but most importantly, share it far and wide. Help grow and build the momentum in the lead up to the election to ensure the Greens do not win. And then, if you like my shirt and you want to check out the rest of our Australian, proud Aussie, proud Israeli, proud Australi merch, go to rebelstore.com.au. Like I always say, stand for something, look good while doing so, and supporting your favourite news network, because we are 100% viewer funded, and part of those sales go to helping us do our job. rebelstore.com.au. See you next time.